Hi teacher, how are you? My name is Hassan and this is gonna be the first video about the differences between PHP 5 and PHP 7. I'm really sorry for that teacher. I tried to download two Apache, one for Windows 7 and one for Windows, one for I'm sorry, for PHP 7 and one for PHP 5, but I had a problem because both of them is locating for the local host, the home, and it made a problem for me that the first Apache for the PHP 7 was reading from the other Apache and didn't work. So it made a problem for me. So today I'm gonna for PHP 7 I'm gonna work in the Apache in the exam, and for the PHP 5 I'm gonna work in the Sans box. So first of all, I'm gonna just say some theory change, some theory differences between PHP 5 and PHP 7. First of all, when the PHP released, PHP first appear was in 1995. That was the first appear for PHP, and the PHP 5, the first release for the first version of PHP 5 was in 2004, and for the PHP 7 was 2014. And in these versions, for the theory things, we have some performance change, we have some engine engine which is changed. So in the performance way, the performance of PHP 7 and PHP 5, there is a major difference between them. First things, PHP 5 and 4 was powered by Zend engine, and for the PHP 7 they use a new brand, a new model of engine. They call it PHP NG, which is mean next generation PHP. This new PHP NG engine improved the performance as much twice with the optimized memory usage. This has been provided by the company, the PHP company, and the new engine, it's really requires more lower servers to serve the same number of the users as before. So in PHP 7, let's say like if you want like a huge, very speed engine server to just to work with 100 customer, right now you need the same one for a 50 customer, which is make it more nice and more good, and make the people do something more bigger in these things. The second thing, which is theory 2, we have the 64-bit support. We had a problem in PHP 5, and that is it wasn't supporting the 64-bit. So you weren't able to work with huge files, or working with the long integers, or all of these things. But in the PHP 7, it's supporting 64 bytes, which is allowed you to work with the more huge files, and allowed you to work with more huge numbers, and actually it's made it more easier and more usable for the developers. And right now I'm gonna talk about some codes that has changed, and instead of writing the code, and the video will be all of it just me writing the code, is gonna be so boring for you teacher. So I'm gonna try to pause the video, write the code, and after that I'm gonna explain it line by line and show the difference between the results and why this happened. Welcome back teacher. So yes, our first differences between PHP 7 and PHP type, that the returning type. In the PHP 7 they do something new, which is you can declare your returning type. As you can see here in the code, I just made a very simple function, that this function is taking an integer and it's returning a string. I just here printf the function, I call it, and I put here a number. And as you can see here in the PHP 7 in the page here, it's just print default. Actually, these things help the developer so much, because sometimes it's so important to declare the returning type, because for a specific reason, for some specific kind of functions, you want to return some different type of things like integers, doubles. If you get this, return this. If you get that, return that. And sometimes, because of we have a database and we have lots of things, so you don't want to harm your database in some way, so you want to declare your returning type in a way that even if the user just put something which is illegal for your functionality, it's gonna return only this type of thing. So if, for example, just you want this function just to work with the integers, and you want it to return only integers, and you just want to see that if the user is gonna put a string, you don't want how the function is gonna handle it. It's gonna make a problem in the PHP 5, and sometimes it just destroy everything, and it just sometimes harm the database. So they just put something which is so nice, which is the returning type, and it's seriously so helpful. And as you can see here, I run this one here and it's working with the default. But as you can see here in the PHP 5, I run the same code. I make here the returning type string and I run it, and you can see here it's syntax error unexpected. So in PHP 5 there is no returning type. In PHP 5 actually there is no provision for returning type declaration. It's not, you cannot do any returning type. And yes, let's go for the next different. Welcome back, teacher. I just wrote the code, and here for the second difference we have is that they made a new operator for the comparison function, that they call it the three-way comparison operator, that it's compare bigger than, smaller than, or equals in one line. And it has another name that is called spaceship operator. And this function here, as you can see, teacher, in the first age we have 10, the age number 2 we have 20, and here we have the operator, the spaceship operator, that it's compare age 1 is bigger than or smaller than or equals. So here in our situation, age is 10, which is smaller than the age 2. So as you can see here, teacher, we have minus 1, which is mean that it's smaller than. And if we change this 10 to be 20 and this here 20 to be 10, and we just run the code, we will have here 1. And if we just made both of them 20, we will have 0. And actually this is so nice, because it's so usable when you are working with a database. Just let me do something here. When you work in database and you just let's create a database here. Oh my God. And let's go for that database. Let's go inside it, and yep, we don't have anything right now. We need to import. No. Yes, teacher, here we are gonna just make a table, and we are gonna give it one column, and in this column we are gonna put here the data type is boolean, and let's name it event test1. Let's save it. So actually this operation is so nice that it gives you 0, -1, and 1, because in MySQL, if you want to insert a data to the if you want to make the data boolean, actually here, because of tiny, so it's not accepting the true and false. It's just accepting 1 and -1. So let's put 1 here. Yep, it's inserted right now. So if you go to the structure and let's see, I want to browser. Yeah, as you can see here, we have 1. But if we like try to insert like a true, it's gonna make a problem because MySQL see the boolean as tiny n, so it's accepting 1, -1, 0. So actually this operator is saving our time so much in a way that you don't need to after all of this just handle the data. You can just make the operation and send the data directly to the database in very easy way. And here in the sandbox, as you can see, it didn't have the spaceship operator, which is we had to make it in the old way. That's gonna made it so long. So I'm gonna check here if h1 is bigger than h2, right? h1 is greater, or else h2 is greater. And if we wanted to make it even, if we want to check like it's equals or not, so we have to make nested if, which is gonna make time complexity more worse, and it's gonna make everything taking more time, and it's need more and more time actually to handle it in the engine. And I'm gonna pause it right now for going to the third difference. Hi teacher again, and right now I'm gonna talk about the null closing operator. In PHP 7 they made a new operator that instead of writing if else, as you can see here, if and else, you can just directly do all of this operator in one line. As you can see here, I declare here a variable called name. If we post any name, actually the post is as a super global variable used to collect data after submitting an HTML form with a method post. And we actually use it more often with a data that it's a little bit not a little bit, which is kind of secure, like the passwords and the user information that we don't want to show it. So we just directly interactive with the server. So we just use post, and we have I think get too. Get is instead of interact with the server, you just send the data to the URL up here. You can send it up here, and it's gonna send it from here, and you can take it and return it as you want. This is not our topic. I'm sorry, teacher. Here, as you can see here, if this is typically is if after the question mark is else. So if is there any name is posted, if you can see any HTML form that have a post method and some users put something in it that is called name, just print it. Else, that nobody, that's mean null. There is nothing happen here. And as you can see here, our output is nobody because there is nothing get posted. In the PHP 5 actually, it's kind of, as you can see, it's more messy, and it's for the developers is like instead of writing one line, we had to write like a several line. It's so hard to read, so confused sometimes, and it's kind of mess. Like here, if is set, you have to check is it set or not. Check if there is something posted or not. If it is posted, so print the name. If it is not, which is else, so print me nobody. And let's run this code. I'm sorry because this is sandbox, so it's always gonna go to the else because we don't have anything. As here there is nothing get posted, so it's gonna go to the nobody here. And this is the differences between 7 and 5, that they had something is called null. Welcome again, teacher. And this is right now gonna be the last differences between 7 and 5. Actually, there is lots of in the 5. Sometimes we had some problem. I take this example from the book. In the 5 and 7, in the 5 actually, I am sorry, we had some problem when it came to the call by reference, that sometime with some specific functions it's made unexpected reactions, which is 100% giving a wrong output. So for example, here in this code here, we have an array which is have 1 2 3 inside it, and we just looping inside it, and we call it, actually we just assign a to the v, but for calling by reference. So we are calling the array to the v but by reference, so any change is gonna happen outside. But actually in this case here it's not problem, because we are just copying and we are not changing anything. So here actually we are just printing the array, which is going to be 1 2 3, and here we are checking the current always should pointing to the first element on the array. It should always pointing to the first one, which is gonna should be 1 1 1 for all of them. It should be 0, but the current one is the first element. So as you can see the output here, we had 1 2 3, and the current is always 1 1 1, which is 100% correct output without any problem. But when the thing in the past, in the PHP 5, actually it was making lots of problem. It's the same codes, it's we are calling the current again, but we are here calling by reference the array. So as you can see here, the output, the current, so first time it was at pointing at the element number 2, and the third time it was element for the number 3, and in the end of it, it wasn't pointing to anything, which is 0, which I don't know, it's not pointing to anything. And actually this is one of the things that they fixed it, and it was seriously important and a huge problem that they had before. And thank you for watching this video. I hope that you like this video. Thank you so much, teacher, and I hope a great day for you. Thank you so much.